For the first time in his Hall of Fame career, Giannis Antetokounmpo is legitimately considering leaving the Milwaukee Bucks, the only NBA team he's ever known. While there have been rumblings in the past, his organization has always come through and Giannis has stayed loyal, putting pen to paper on extensions twice. But it now looks like the beautiful marriage of Giannis and the Bucks are in the irreconcilable differences stage. And there are actually several major reasons for this. In this video, we're gonna talk about how extremely poor roster construction, a lack of future assets, and a solid dose of awful luck have likely doomed one of the most enduring marriages in the NBA. We'll end by discussing where the Greek freak could actually land up, because truthfully, there will be some major players in need of his services. Outside of winning a championship in 2021, the Milwaukee Bucks have actually severely underperformed in the playoffs with Giannis, with 3 straight first-round exits punctuated by getting absolutely smoked by Indiana 4-1 just now. It marks another shocking and embarrassing loss to a lower-seeded team in the joke that is the East. I mean, how many times are these guys gonna come into the playoffs with a high seed only to lose to a lower one? It's a big red flag. What's even worse is that in this series, Giannis averaged 33, 15, and 7 on highly efficient shooting. He legitimately did everything possible to help his stupid team, as he always does. But the next best player on his team? Gary Trent Jr. with 18 points a game. Bruh, that kind of drop-off was way too much. You can't overcome that. And that's why Milwaukee got absolutely whipped. Also, I mean, you can maybe see why Bucks management thought trading an injury-riddled Middleton for a younger Kyle Kuzma with championship experience might work out. But truly, that was a harebrained move, let's be honest. Middleton's scoring and three-point shooting would have been invaluable, even on one leg. And you know what else would be invaluable? If you could hit those like and subscribe buttons, G. It really helps a brother out. It increases my chances of getting recognized by algorithm silver. And now, if we address the elephant in the room and the main reason why the Bucks couldn't compete in relation to roster construction, their second superstar, who they gave up the world for, only averaged 7 points per game and then had his season ended savagely with an Achilles tear, and second in a row having his season ended due to injury. But this one is near impossible to come back from, even with young players. But for a 34-year-old guard who already had injury history when they traded for him, yikes. And unfortunately, the Bucks' current roster as it stands, because of how poorly it's constructed, brings us to the second point, which is and adding on to the extremely horrible luck with Lillard, the Bucks have absolutely no current or future assets that are tradable. They traded away all their draft picks to win now, and any decent player they have other than Giannis is trading at their absolute nut low right now. They obviously can't trade Lillard, and no other person on that roster, including Gary Trent, is going to fetch them anything worthwhile in return. So even if the Milwaukee Bucks want to pull the rabbit out of the hat another time to keep Giannis, it would take generational stupidity on the part of another GM, a la Rob Pelinka, Nico Harrison, to do it with this roster. So what can the Bucks do? Hope Lillard makes a historically fast recovery from an historically devastating injury and still come back and contribute at a high level, while in the meanwhile wasting another year of Giannis's prime? I mean, bro, to average 33, 15, and 7 to lose 4-1 to the Indiana freaking Pacers is special work. And here's where you can feel a little bad for the Bucks front office, because they truly did try to swing for the fences with Lillard and get Giannis superstar help. They traded away all their future picks for a win now moment, which is the right thing to do when you have a generational talent like Giannis. But just absolutely awful luck in multiple instances which then put a glaring spotlight on all their roster deficiencies. For example, Giannis getting freak injured against Miami in 2023 and them losing to an 8th seed as a 1 seed, then losing Lillard last year, then losing Lillard again this year, and now they don't control their own pick till 2031. My goodness. With the way things have played out, can you really blame Giannis for wanting to leave? He has no help currently, nor does it seem like his team can get him any. His main help is out for at least a year, if not longer. And above all else, Giannis wants to win another title before he retires. Dude is an absolute dog who works his ass off and wants to see it pay off. Legitimately, how can anyone hate that? So that brings us to our last point, which is, where does Giannis actually land up? Because there aren't too many options for teams that A, meet Giannis's criteria, and B, can even come to the table and make a decent offer to Milwaukee. But the more I think about it, the more it seems that trading Giannis might actually be the best option for all parties involved. Because this may be the time where Milwaukee can actually get something back for him instead of risking him walking away in free agency for nothing. So the first team that can actually come to the table and bring Milwaukee something is, and this would be scary as hell, the Houston Rockets. This is actually the best fit for Giannis and everyone else involved. The Rockets showed that they need another scorer in the playoffs. Someone they can hand the ball to and say, get us a bucket. They could also use somebody else in transition to pair with Jalen Green. And then hopefully teach him what it means to be a consummate professional and take his job seriously. Because currently he doesn't. It would absolutely make the Rockets championship contenders for many years to come. On the Bucks side of things, the Rockets have a dizzying number of picks in every draft leading up to 2031. This is the best way for Milwaukee to do right by Giannis, but also right by themselves by rebuilding for the future. Those bare draft cupboards can get full again. Also, Fred VanVleet is coming off an excellent postseason and has a club option for this year. A potential sign-in trade with VanVleet and picks for Giannis could absolutely work. So Houston is the first team that Giannis could realistically land up and would meet everyone's criteria. And also, might I say, I think would be the best fit for Giannis because he would immediately be the number one option and get all of his regular touches. Plus would really enhance the Rockets' already strong defense. Speaking of defense though, this next team is also a viable contender and a scary option. The Oklahoma City Thunder. We did a video about this earlier in the season when there were rumblings about this same sort of thing. Similarly, OKC have 1,000 different picks coming up in every draft before 2031. They could easily package a bunch of high draft picks and players to get Giannis. And oh my god, imagine if they did that. They're already in contention to win a title this year. But imagine if they got Giannis. Not only would that team be a dynasty, but teams would be lucky to score 50 points a game on that team. Man, that defense would go from elite to just, I don't even know. What do you call that next level of defense? Unscorable on. But there's still actually one team that also has an outside chance to have Giannis. And that's Milwaukee, the team that he currently plays for, the only team he's ever known, and the team that he's brought a championship to. Yes, things are looking extremely bleak. Let's not mince words on that. But the Bucks have shown they are willing to do anything and everything it takes to retain Giannis' services. If they think they can somehow get a package for a third star to help Giannis and eventually Dame, history has shown that they will. The other side significantly in Milwaukee's favor is Giannis himself has said on many occasions that loyalty matters to him, and recently said on his brother's podcast that he wants to win a second ring for Milwaukee. And we know that this is true because Giannis has professed and shown loyalty the whole time. We can and will take him at his word. But how much Is loyalty going to matter over winning? Hey, it would take a miracle. But hey, miracles happen. But also on the other side of things, if Giannis decides to take a page out of his other fellow superstars' books, he could name only one team and force Milwaukee to trade him there. At the end of the day, the Bucks had their shot. They won a ring. They built a legacy. But now they can't build a future. And now they're leaving Giannis with a choice no superstar should have to make. Loyalty or legacy. Because unfortunately, with the Milwaukee Bucks, he can't have both.